Anu, tell us about your superhero backstory, your path into STEM, and what has made you into the amazing creator that you are today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I really can't say I have any superhero backstory. If anything, it's like kind of like an anti-hero or like
Love
mostly
it.
because I started in STEM. I have a background as an electronics engineer. I have a bachelor's degree in electronics, which I hated.
What made you choose that path? Did you always have an interest in science and stuff when you were a kid? Like, did you get any
Mm,
encouragement along the way?
well, I did. I mean, I guess I was a little bit of a nerdy kid. I loved math and I loved like science. I liked dinosaurs and rocks and I don't know that kind of
Heck yeah.
stuff. And I think I was also a very creative kid. I was super into arts. I mean, I come from a family of like architects and designers, so like that was always something I was interested in. But I think also the Indian education system kind of played into my, like the options that I had were like to either go into engineering or to become a doctor. Like if you're like a person who grew up in that time of India, I'm not sure if things are different today, but yeah, there's just two options: you're an engineer or you're a doctor.
Mhm.
And then I was obviously more interested in math and chemistry and such, so I went into the side which is called NPC, or like maths, physics, chemistry, which automatically meant that I had to do an engineering degree.
Mhm.
And then so I did my engineering degree with quite some. I mean, it was not great. I loved analog electronics, but I didn't think I didn't feel like I could see how it was applied in real life. It was all about like you learning all the formulae and like passing exams. It was less about all the cool things you could do with it. And I kind of missed a little bit of the creative side. So
Yeah.
I moved into design, which was perfect for me because I could actually bring in my interest in electronics in a much more like kind of in a real life sort of a way, like talking to people, understanding what they want, and then building things for them. And at the same time, design opened like my eyes to so many other fields, like the humanities and like animation and like just a lot of it just broadened things up for me. And I never
Nice.
left design. Yeah.
Cool.
And then I wanted to specialize
What are
in
some
a
of the
field.
things that you've worked on, like
Well,
that you've done designs for?
well, I mean, I was mostly in an educational program, so then I could
Mhm.
experiment quite a bit.
Mhm.
I made like a very Scott McCloudy, like a comic, a digital comic.
Nice.
Um, yeah, which I mean, I tried to experiment a little bit with coding as well back then, and create like an interactive comic. I also made a bunch of other things. Like I made like a stop motion animation explaining uh, like how Indian languages work, how we mix a lot of languages to speak, and I tried to visualize
Cool.
that in stop motion. Yeah, and I
Nice.
did a bunch of like ethnographical work before, and and all of this kind of led me to do a degree in interaction design, like kind of pursue a master's in it.
Mhm.
And I went to London to do a master's. Yeah. So and in London, my program was it was leaning towards research, and I also developed some aptitude for research, and that led me to get a PhD in Sweden. So I'm now in Sweden, and I've done a
Cool.
PhD. It's been so I did a PhD and I finished a postdoc. So it's been seven
Nice.
years since I've been working
A
and
lot of
researching.
school.
A
A
lot of
lot of
school.
school.
Yeah, this is the first time I have time off after a very long period of just school.
Wow. Well, thank you for choosing to spend some of your time off with us.
Of course.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
What is the subject of your PhD?
So the field I work with is called interaction design, and the subject it was the Internet of Things. So my PhD dissertation is called Researching IoT through Design. And then this dissertation, I kind of take more experimental approaches. I look at how people participate with Internet of Things, like how people give data, and to what extent is that data being used by other players and so on. But also I look at how things themselves participate. So like how things are alive because they are able to act on the world without our, yeah, because they're able to automate stuff. So I pretend like things have like a life of their own. And then I do more experiments that way. Yeah, so I've done a bunch of nice experiments, and I think in my postdoc that's when I kind of made a shift, because I thought the IoT was such a marketing term that I decided I wanted to work more with hackers and femme hackers like you, and that's sort of how I landed in the place I'm in right now, where I've kind of got the opportunity to explore the craft side of my, yeah, craft and art and bridging that with electronics. And yeah, that's my
Cool.
background. Yes.
Nice. I'm seeing a comment Arturo sent me. Thank you, Arturo. I saw your tweet, by the way, Arturo, your message, like right before we started. So thank you for spreading the word and helping us with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, can you tell us anything about the thing that you're transitioning to in the new year?
Yeah, so I think I've been in academia way too long. So I'm moving into the industry. It's a corporate job. Yeah, and I'll be working as a UX specialist. So UX is a user experience specialist in the design team of a company called Neo4j. It's a company that let's see, they work with a particular way of visualizing big data, and the key is that they use graphs, data graphs, as a way to visualize and allow people to, yeah, do lots of like interesting analysis of data and so on. And they have this enterprise software, and they have a couple of solutions within that software, and I'll be the person who comes with the research expertise to say like, okay, how do we understand what their users need, who are their clients, and so on, and how do we improve their product. And yeah.
Nice, nice. I like data-driven UX. I think that's awesome. We need more people doing stuff like that for sure. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's a scary field, but yeah, I think I have the training to at least tackle it for a while. Yeah.
Heck yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Cool. Well, awesome. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. How much of a like so you started out in electrical engineering. How much of I would say like a typical electrical engineering curriculum did you go through before kind of focusing on more design? Like, did you have to do a bunch of classes with, circuits and analog and digital and microprocessors and all of that kind of stuff as well?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Everything you just said. Yes.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I think it's interesting to see different things that you can do with that. Like, you don't necessarily have to take that and just make circuit boards, right?
Mm.
You can take that and then use that experience and that knowledge to do things that help make products more useful and more usable. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. Thank
Nice.
you. Yeah, I agree.